What's up, guys? It's Jamar Dawson from Remnant Outdoors. Hope you're doing great today. We are starting a new video series on the channel entitled Self-Defense Stories. I'm going to talk about different self-defense stories from around the world. And really, this is twofold. Number one, to kind of get our mentality right for an unforeseen situation so that you can govern yourself accordingly and stay calm under pressure. And then the second thing is so that we can kind of preemptively prepare if we need to upgrade stuff. So if we got to get better locks, that may mean get better camera system, or you might have to improve some of your self-defense skill sets, like maybe a self-defense tool or learning how to defend yourself hand to hand. So hopefully these stories give you insight and you learn something. I'm really excited. Let's dive into it. All right, today's story comes from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Vicksburg is a little town off the Mississippi River in Mississippi. So let's go ahead and dive into this. The title is Vicksburg Woman Comes Home to Find Intruder, Shoots Him. All right, setting the stage early. So a Vicksburg woman shot a would-be burglar at her home Thursday, Vicksburg Daily News reports. Police say the homeowner arrived at her home just after 11 a.m. to find a burglary in process. The woman told police she then fired a warning shot before yelling for the neighbors to call 911. She then went back into the home and fired another shot as the burglar ran off. Police say the suspected burglar then ended up at River City Rescue Mission with a gunshot wound to his right arm. His wound was not life-threatening. Police charge him with burglary. The suspect ID has not yet been revealed. Police say the homeowner will likely not face charges. So, interesting story there. We got a homeowner coming home. There's an intruder there. She yells at him, shoots a warning shot, tells the neighbors to call 911. She comes back, shoots him. He leaves. He gets arrested at the hospital. She doesn't get charged. So, interesting story. Okay. First off, hats off to the woman for surviving. Scary situation that I hope I never find myself in, especially since I got young kids. I would not want to find myself coming home from work or anything like that and there be a home intruder there. But hats off to the woman for just staying calm and being able to survive the situation. Hats off also to this lady for being able to get access to her weapon. I'm assuming it was a pistol. Didn't name if it was a rifle or a pistol in the story. I'm assuming it was a pistol. But yeah, being able to get that and be accessible is a big deal. Many people have self-defense tools, but if you can't access it when you need it, it's kind of pointless. I got three big things that I want to talk about here as far as what I would have done differently in this situation. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not saying this is what you should do. You need to check your laws in your own jurisdictions and talk to lawyers that are well-versed in self-defense law. But this is what I would have done, okay? Number one, the article here mentions that she fired a warning shot. I'm not sure if she fired this into her house, if she fired it into her yard, or what have you. I wouldn't have done that, though. I wouldn't be shooting in my home, number one, because if I just shot somewhere in my house, I don't want the bullet to go out a window. I don't want it to penetrate a wall and then go out of the house. I just don't want any situation where an innocent person could get struck by my bullet when I'm trying to shoot a warning shot. And no, I'm not going to shoot at my house. Not only is it bad to shoot a warning shot because it could hit an innocent bystander and you're shooting your house, I'm assuming, in this situation. Not only is that bad, but it's going to attract the attention of others. And I would hate for, in a prolonged situation, I fire a warning shot, then a long time goes on, and I'm still going back and forth with this bad guy, for a passerby to think that I'm the aggressor. I'm the one shooting around and all that kind of stuff. And so for that reason, I wouldn't want to shoot the warning shot. Additionally, and really lastly for this particular point, number one is I wouldn't want to draw my gun until I was ready to fire. This kind of basic handgun 101. Don't point your weapon on anything you don't intend to destroy. And then when you point your weapon, you pull the trigger. That's what many people teach. And so I think too many things can go wrong if you're trying to bluff somebody. And there's not a whole lot that we know about this situation other than these few sentences. But trying to bluff somebody and shoot a warning shot, too many bad things can happen. So number one, I wouldn't have fired the warning shot, especially into my own home. Number two, I like the fact that she stayed calm enough to be able to give instruction to her neighbors to help out. Hey, call 911. That is absolutely critical because so many people lose their head in a situation like this. So hats off to the lady for doing that. But I would not have returned back to the home after I had left. She had already retreated away outside of her home after she saw there was a burglary. She told the neighbors to dial 911. And then it says she went back into her home, fired another shot as the burglar ran off. So, yeah, once you retreated to safety, responsible gun owners know you are supposed to stay in safety. Unless there's like babies or family members that are not in safety, you stay in safety and wait for the police to arrive and stay out of danger. Now, too many things could have gone wrong, but by the time she had left her house, who knows what the burglar could have done. He could have armed himself with a knife. He could have got next to the door. He could have pulled his own gun out. He could have loaded his gun. Who knows what could have happened. So she returned back to her house. I wouldn't have done that. Once you get out of danger, stay out of danger. So number 3 here, this isn't super specific in the article, but it looks like, but she returned to the house and upon exit, somehow she got to a position where she shot the guy, whether he was leaving the house or she shot him and he left. It's not super clear. But a lot of people can see that little gray area of, well, you were already safe. You came back and he was leaving and you shot him as he was leaving. You can get a lot of trouble. You hear incidents all the time. They make the news all the time when someone goes to defend themselves and the bad guy turns away. They shoot the bad guy, and then the police say, well, we're going to have to charge you with murder or charge you with something because that person was trying to flee. It looks like, according to the story, this lady will not be getting charged, which is great. But, just be very, very, very careful if somebody is leaving your house, they're fleeing after you come and confront them or whatever. If they're leaving, you just have to be very, very careful. Then again, I wouldn't have went back to the house in the first place, but that's the third thing that I would have changed in this story if it happened to me. So in the end, everything worked out, thank God. It doesn't appear the woman's going to get charged or any trouble. If she would have been in a different state, like, I don't know, California or Illinois or New York, and this burglar was in fact fleeing the scene while she shot him, then she could have been in some pretty hot water. It could have landed her at least in court at the very least. And, if she didn't have any self-defense insurance, and so many people don't, but if she doesn't have self-defense insurance and she has to go to court, then that means she's going to be out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I've seen situations that seem cut and dry, and even still, when a person was really justifiable to shoot or defend themselves, they still had to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars defending them in court. So please get some defense insurance, folks. Let's talk about that in just a few seconds. So to recap the situation, this really shows a few things here. Number one, you got to stay ready mentally. You got to stay ready so when something happens, you could react. We call that getting off the X. You don't want to freeze. Oh my gosh, the burglars in my house. This lady, from what the story says, she reacted. She got off the X and she was able to execute actions that kept her safe and got the burglar out of her house. So you need to always be ready. Always be thinking, what can I do to be safer? And what would I do in a certain situation? Number two, she kept a level head and enlisted the help of her neighbors. You always want to let other people know if you're on the phone and you see something's going on. Let that person, hey, call 911 for me if you can't do it yourself. Or to the neighbors, hey, help. You need to do something to signal to other people, I need some help. When you're yelling and signaling for help and trying to get other people to help you, that usually stops the bad guy from doing his bad action. And then three, you need to know the laws in your state. If this lady would have done what she did in another state, likely she would be behind bars right now. It's unfortunate. A lot of people would say that she was in the right here, but you have to know the laws in your state, especially as it relates to defending yourself. Please know that. And like I said before, you need to get some self-defense insurance. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Self-Defense Stories. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up so I know to do more content like this. There's all sorts of things happening like this all over the country, all over the world, but the media doesn't like to pick it up for some reason. It's usually the stories where people were really hurt, or unfortunately somebody got the advantage of somebody else. That's the ones they like to talk about. But there's a lot of people using their Second Amendment rights or just being able to defend themselves in certain ways, shapes, and forms without a firearm even, that are doing some amazing things. They need to be recognized and they need to be talked about so that we can prepare ourselves if we're in that unfortunate situation. I mentioned just a few moments ago about defense insurance, and I can't stress it enough. I'm an affiliate of a self-defense insurance company called U.S. Law Shield. I have not had any issues with them. They are high quality. They have well-versed self-defense attorneys around the country, and the price is exactly what you would want to pay. Okay, I'm a frugal guy, you guys know that, but even I saw the value. I would probably pay double of what I'm paying, but it's a great value. You get to select all sorts of coverage options, and I'm passionate about this because I know a couple of people that had to pay massive amounts of money when they were in the right, and I'm going to talk about some of those stories in the future. But people who get in defense situations, they don't even use handguns. They use their own fists, or they might have to use another tool of opportunity to defend themselves. They've had to pay $10,000, $50,000, over $100,000 in some cases when they were in the right, when someone broke into their home and were trying to hurt them. If you have defense insurance, you can mitigate all of that crap. You're gonna have to go through the process, but having an attorney basically on a retainer is what it is. You're having an attorney that's helping you through the process, and you don't have to pay for it. Man, that is just amazing. And they give you all sorts of other tools, let you know when you're traveling from state to state, if it's a conceal and carry state based off of your license, or does your license apply? Are you covered here or are you not? And here's the different rules, having it on a lockbox in the car, all these things. They'll go over those things with you. You go to the website, you can see all these maps, and they'll provide all these resources, and they do training all the time. That's actually how I got hooked up as an affiliate. I went to a bunch of their trainings. They recognized me and said, hey, I want to tell people about this amazing thing. And I've learned so much of what to do and what not to do in a self-defense situation, specifically for the state that I'm living in. So get yourself some self-defense insurance. Check out the link in the description, and don't forget to use the code Remnant. That will allow them to know that I sent you there. So God bless, stay safe. We're gonna be doing some more episodes like this real soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.